a smoking fire, I didn't feel a thing.
Doug Gottlieb next hour. 45 minutes from now, where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong. Rachel Bonetta is joining alongside me today on a Monday. Jason Terry, Rob Parker, too. Now, I was hearing this yesterday. I had a little Memorial Day Sunday night party. And, I didn't get too crazy. Had to be up early. Rachel, did you have a big party to go to last night? Did you host a big affair, extravagant affair, or anything like that?
I was actually on my way home from Boston watching the game on the plane with some pretty bad Wi-Fi. But it was a good night for me.
Okay, good night for you. There were some friends, and after the game, my friends were all like, Colin, LeBron is not leaving Cleveland. That guy is loyal. There is no way he's leaving Cleveland. How could he leave this? Well, time out. I just going to throw a couple things out there. Did you see that piece of video, LeBron heading to the trophy ceremony, and how he low handshake Dan Gilbert, the owner? Not even a high five, not even a mid-handshake. Could there be anything more dismissive in the world than the low handshake? It is as if LeBron really didn't want to have to do any touching. Guy before him's like, yo, what up, owner? LeBron's like, low handshake. You know how it is. You high-five somebody you really like. You shake a hand, mid-handshake if you respect somebody. You low handshake them if you really feel like, oh, people are watching, I'm going to do it, but I won't want to do it anyway. Yeah, that's the first piece of visual evidence. I mean, didn't even break stride, didn't even pause, just kind of low handshake, low, damp, lifeless, limp handshake. Just saying. Also, there's this Cleveland roster, which has next year the same exact players, except they're older. George Hill will be back. He was hurt a lot this year. Kyle Korver got hurt this year. He'll be back. Kevin Love will be back. He's not able to play yesterday. And J.R. Smith, who got hurt and was inconsistent this year and is getting older, he's going to be back. LeBron doesn't like to be trapped. The Cavs have the 4 worst contracts, arguably, in the NBA, where they're paying mid-level players. Now, Kevin Love's better than mid-level, but they're paying them huge money. And these contracts do not have team options. Put them up on the board. These are player-friendly contracts for the next 2 years minimum. They're not the only bad ones. They're the ones that really jump out to you. J.R. Smith, $16 million. Tristan Thompson, $18 million. George Hill, $19 million. Jordan Clarkson. In most instances, those guys are worth half the contracts. No team options. So you got the video. You got those contracts. Philly and the Lakers have good young players getting better. The Cavs have old players not getting better. And then there's something LeBron said about this team. It's a very interesting set of words. And let me just play the tape of what LeBron said, and you make of it what you will. Here it is.
Right around the trade deadline, no matter if we made a trade or not at that point in time, I kind of just switched my mindset on saying let's get the most out of this season I can, and I'm determined to get the most. I'm trying to squeeze this orange so there's no more juice left, and this is a heck of an accomplishment for our ball club.
I'm going to squeeze the last blank out of this team. You know what you do with a tube of toothpaste? When you squeeze the last little bit of toothpaste out of it, you throw it away. You know what you do with the grapefruit or the orange? When you squeeze the last bit of juice out of it, you throw it away. I mean, LeBron's telling you, I'm going to squeeze every last ounce of energy out of this roster. By definition, that means, and then I'll discard it. Now, what if, for instance, I'll throw this out there. What if Houston beats Golden State tonight? Certainly possible. John, tell me what the line is. Certainly possible Houston beats Golden State. That's a better matchup for LeBron. If Chris Paul couldn't play, he's hurt for several games in the series. And let's say LeBron has been here before. Houston's a little tight. James Harden can't get over his shooting woes. Chris Paul only plays a couple games in the series. Trevor Ariza, it's not big enough. D'Antoni freaks, and they beat Houston. And you're like, okay, then LeBron goes blindly romantic, crazily loyal. I can't leave my city of Cleveland and Akron, but I could make the argument that would be the perfect time, like a John Elway, to leave the team. I got you one with Kyrie. I got you one without it. I've, as LeBron said, squeezed every last thing I can out of this roster. So even the weird exception, Golden State loses, they face Houston, they do match up better, Chris Paul can't play all the games, they beat the Rockets, that would be the perfect way to leave Cleveland. John, what is the line? Golden State by 6.5. Chris Paul, not sure. That is a lot of points to give Houston. I mean, I'm just telling you, one of the things I'm thinking about is Houston wins tonight. Harden gets out of his funk. Durant again disappears in the fourth. Klay Thompson can't be that hot again. Is Steph going to be that hot again? Chris Paul plays a little. They end up, Houston wins. And then LeBron actually, as Chris Paul re-aggravates his injury, faces a depleted Rockets team. They get a little tight. LeBron plays great. Kevin Love is back, steps up. But I think then you got 2 titles in Cleveland. That is a walk-off. That's what Elway does in Denver. It's like, okay, I'm done. Boom. I can play for more years. So I just don't see LeBron coming back to Cleveland. He has an ejector button whenever he feels trapped. I watched the Dan Gilbert handshake. Show that thing again. That is a low handshake. That is like, I have no interest.
He's also very short. Have we thought about that? Have we played that into consideration?
Dan Gilbert short?
He's pretty short.
I mean, look, time out. I don't know, all those guys are tall. They all seem to be paying attention to the owner, shaking his hand, smiling. Oh, hey there, owner. What up? High five. LeBron's like, low energy handshake. Rachel Banana with the news.